Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I am going to explain you about our first chapter, real numbers. Instead of directly solving the problems, let me explain you a few basic concepts. To know what exactly real numbers are, first you need to know what are the different types of numbers. Different types of numbers can be whole numbers, natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers and real numbers. Now what are whole numbers? Whole numbers are represented by capital W and whole number starts with 0. The set is represented like this. It starts with 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, etc. Now coming to natural numbers. Natural numbers are denoted by capital N and natural number starts with 1. The set is represented like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, etc. Natural numbers doesn't consist of 0. Now coming to integers. Integers are denoted by capital Z. And integers consist of positive values 0 and negative values. The set is represented as shown here: 0 in the middle and positive values in the right hand side and negative values in the left hand side. Now coming to rational numbers. Rational numbers are denoted by capital Q. Rational numbers are the numbers which can be written in the form of P by Q. Now what is P and what is Q here? P and Q both are integers. We know that integers can be positive, 0 or negative values. And one thing you need to remember, that Q should not be equal to 0. In rational numbers, Q never equal to 0. Now examples of rational numbers can be 1 by 2, 2 by 3, so on, etc. Now coming to irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are denoted by capital P. And irrational numbers are the numbers which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. The numbers which are not rational are called as irrational numbers. Examples of irrational numbers are root 2, root 3, so on, etc. Now coming to real numbers. Real numbers are denoted by capital R. The combination of both rational numbers and irrational numbers are called as real numbers. The entire chapter what we are going to discuss now is about real numbers, and it is denoted by letter capital R. Till now we have learnt about very basic concepts which you have learnt in your lower classes. Now getting into actual chapter, let us discuss about division algorithm. What is division algorithm? What does it say? It says that given positive integers a and b, there exists a unique pair of integers q and r which should satisfy the condition a equal to bq plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b. What does it mean? It means that given positive integers a and b are positive integers. Remember, integers consist of positive values 0 and negative values. In that, take only positive integers. And then there exists a unique pair of integers q and r. Q and r both are integers which should satisfy the condition a equal to bq plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b. If you don't understand anything about this, no worries, you can better understand by solving few problems. To understand more clearly about division algorithm, let me solve few basic questions for you. Here is the question: find q and r for the following pair of positive integers a and b satisfying division algorithm. What does the question say? It says that we need to find the values of q and r for a given values of a and b using division algorithm. So the first question here is a equal to 13 and b equal to 3. Now always remember, when you start solving any question or any problem in maths, first you need to know what is the given data and what you need to find, the objective, what is the solution. Then next, how you can find that solution. You need to keep these three things in mind before solving a question. Here the given values are a equal to 13 and b equal to 3. What we need to find? We need to find the values of q and r. And using, how can we find the values of q and r? Using the division algorithm. So always be clear about these three things. Now the question is a equal to 13 and b equal to 3. We know that the division lemma is a equal to bq plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b, and given a equal to 13 and b equal to 3. So how can we find values of q and r? So we need to substitute a and b values in the equation here. So substitute the given values in the division algorithm. Replace the values of a equal to 13 and b equal to 3 in the division lemma. So I substituted here a equal to 13. 13 equal to 3q plus r. where 0 less than r less than b. What is the value of b? 3. So I substituted 3 here. Now consider this as equation number 1. Now how can we find the values of q and r from only this equation? Here it is given a condition that 0 should be less than or equal to r less than 3. So using this condition we have got an idea that r should lie between 0 and 3. So the possible values of r can be 0, 1, 2 but not 3. Why? Here 0 should be less than or equal to r. So 0 is included because equal to sign is there. Now r is less than 3 but not equal to 3. So 3 is excluded. 3 we are not going to consider 3. So the possible values of r is 0, 1 and 2. Now substitute these r values in the equation above here. Now by substituting the r values in equation 1, if r equal to 0, we are substituting in equation 1. 13 equal to 3q plus r. What is r? 0. So we substitute it here. Now how can we find the value of q? Plus 0, here comes minus 0. So 13 minus 0 equal to 3q. Now 13 minus 0 is 13 equal to 3q. We have written as it is. Now what is the value of q? Divided into 3, when it comes to other side it becomes divided by 3. So 13 by 3 is the answer for r equal to 0. For r equal to 0, q value is 13 by 3. Now similarly repeat the process for r equal to 1. Now when r equal to 1, you need to substitute value here. 13 equal to 3q plus 1. Plus 1, here comes minus 1. So 13 minus 1 equal to 3q. Now 13 minus 1 is 12. 12 equal to 3q. Now q equal to 12 by 3 which is equal to 4. Now when r equal to 1, q value is 4. Now repeat the process for r equal to 2. When r equal to 2, 13 equal to 3q plus 2. Now plus 2, here comes minus 2. 13 minus 2 equal to 3q. Now 13 minus 2 is 11. 11 equal to 3q. Now q value is 11 by 3. So when r value equal to 2, q value is equal to 11 by 3. So when we substitute these r values in the equation 1 here, we got 3 different unique pairs. That is when r equal to 0, q equal to 13 by 3. When r equal to 1, q equal to 4. When r equal to 2, q equal to 11 by 3. Now this is what I have written here. All the r and q values which we have got in the previous one. Now what is the final answer? What we need to choose? So from division lemma we know that q and r should be a pair of integers here. Given positive integers a and b, there exists a unique pair of integers q and r. Q and r should be a unique pair of integers. So from this idea we need to get our actual answer. We know from division lemma that q and r should be integers. Here q value is not an integer. Here q is an integer and r is an integer. Here q is not an integer and r is integer. So we need to take this as a final answer. So the solution for a equal to 13 and b equal to 3 is q equal to 4 and r equal to 1 is the solution. Now here is another question which is similar to the previous one. A equal to 125 and b equal to 5. We need to find the values of q and r using division lemma. So we know that the division lemma is a equal to bq plus r where 0 less than or less than b. And given the values of a and b are this. Now we need to substitute these a and b values in the equation here. So on substituting we get 125 equal to 5q plus r. We don't know the values of q and r. So I kept as it is. So 0 less than or equal to r less than 5. Now the possible value, what are the possible values of r? The possible values of r can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 but not 5 because r is less than 5 but not equal to 5. We included 0 because 0 is less than or equal to r. So the possible values are r can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So substitute these r values in the equation 1. So on substituting each and every individual value we got the value of q. Now when r equal to 0, now substitute the r equal to 0 in the equation here. We got 125 equal to 5q plus 0. Now plus 0 when it comes minus 0. 125 minus 0 equal to 5q. Now q equal to 125 by 5, that is equal to 25. Now similarly we need to do for r equal to 1, r equal to 2, and r equal to 3 and r equal to 4. When I do for r equal to 1, we got q equal to 124 by 5. When we do for r equal to 2, we got q equal to 123 by 5. For r equal to 3, we got q value as 122 by 5. Now similarly when we do for r equal to 4, we got q equal to 125. The entire thing what we have done is listed here. When r equal to 0, q equal to 25. When r equal to 1, q equal to 124 by 5, and so on. So among these 5 values, what we need to choose? We need to choose that q and r value should be integers. Q and r value should be integers. So choose the values which are integers. Now r equal to 0 is an integer and q equal to 25 is an integer. So we can take this value. Q equal to 124 by 5 is not an integer. Here it is not an integer, not an integer, not an integer. So the final answer is when r equal to 0, q equal to 25. Now I hope you people understood what I have explained till now. Let me recap once again. They are going to give the values of a and b, and we need to find the values of q and r using division algorithm. So how we can find? Using division algorithm. So we need to substitute the values of a and b in the equation here. Now when we substitute the values, we got an equation. Now from this equation we need to find out what are the possible values of r, and we need to substitute these possible values of r in the equation above. And when we solve for each individual values of r, we get a unique pair of q values. So when we substitute r values, we get a unique values of q. Among these values which we have got, we need to choose r and q value should be an integer. We need to find both should be an integer, and that is a final solution. Now here is the task for you. You need to find the values of q and r using division algorithm, which I have explained till now. For the values a equal to 80, b equal to 8, and for the values a equal to 132 and b equal to 11. You can comment down your answers in the comment section below, and if you have any doubts regarding this, you can ask in the comment section. Now here is another concept, that is Euclid's algorithm. It is used to find the HCF of two given integers. Euclid's algorithm is used to find the HCF of two given integers. It follows step-by-step process. Here are those steps. Let us consider the two given integers are a and b, and assume that a should be greater than b. Now we need to apply, in the first step we need to apply the division algorithm to a and b and find the values of q and r. This is similar to what we have done previous. Now we got the values of q and r. Now from q and r you need to consider r value. Check whether r is equal to 0 or not. If r equal to 0, then directly HCF is b value. If r is not equal to 0, then apply the division lemma for b and r again. You need to repeat the process again and again until r value is equals to 0. If r value equal to 0, then HCF is directly b. Now let us solve few questions to understand it deeply. Now here are few questions. Find the HCF of following by using Euclid's algorithm. The question is 50 and 70. We need to find the HCF for the given pair of integers. Now in order to find this, we need to follow Euclid's algorithm. Euclid's algorithm is a step-by-step process. Now let us solve this example. Let us assume a equal to 70 and b equal to 50. Now why a equal to 70 and b equal to 50? Why not a equal to 50 and b equal to 70? Because always assume a value as a is greater than b. That is, among the both values, a value should be the greatest one. Now we need to, in the first step, we need to apply division algorithm for a and b values. After applying the division algorithm, we got the equation like this: 70 equal to 50q plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b, 50. Now the possible values of r is 0, 1, 2, 3 so on up to 49. In the previous example we have solved for each individual value of r the q value, that is for r equal to 0 what is the q value, for r equal to 1 what is the q value, so on. But here there are 50 numbers, that is from starting from 0 to 49, so it is difficult for us to calculate q values for each and every value of r. So here is some simple method. Now this is the equation which we got, 70 equal to 50q plus r. We need to divide a by b, that is now 70 is divided by 50 and we are going to get quotient and remainder. The quotient is considered as q and remainder is considered as r. Now on solving this, when I divide 70 and 50, when I divide 70 and 50, I got q as 1 and r as 20, that is remainder 20 and quotient as 1. Now consider quotient as q and remainder as r. This is r and this is q. Now replace these values in the equation here. Now after replacing, the equation is like this, 70 equal to 50 into 1 plus 20. Now we need to check the value for r. In the second step we need to check for the value of r. R equal to 20, it means that r is not equal to 0. So we need to repeat the process for b and r values, that is for 50 and 20. Now assume the latest a and b values as 50 and 20. Among 50 and 20, 50 is the greatest one. So assume a as 50 and b as 20. Now repeat the process, that first apply the division lemma, check for r value, and we need to repeat the process or end the process. Now here applying the division lemma, we got the equation as 50 equal to 20q plus r. To find the values of q and r, we need to divide 50 by 20. We need to divide 50 by 20. You need to do these division in the rough work only. Now when I divide 50 and 20, I got 2 as q and 10 as r. In the quotient I got 2 and in the remainder I got r. So take quotient as q value and remainder as r value. So I substituted the same in the equation here and I got the equation 50 equal to 20 into 2 plus 10. Now the second step is we need to check for the value of r. Here the value of r is 10. It means that r is not equal to 0. So if r is not equal to 0, we need to repeat the process for b and r values, that is for 20 and 10. Now repeat the process for 20 and 10. So follow the same procedure for these values also. Now the new a and b values are 20 and 10. Now among 20 and 10, 20 is the greatest. So a is 20 and b equal to 10. Now apply the division lemma as it is, that is 20 equal to 10q plus r. To find the values of q and r, you need to divide 20 by. When you divide 20 and 10, you got 2 as quotient and 0 as remainder. That is the value of q is 2 and the value of r is 0. These divisions should be done in rough work only. Now replace the q and r values in the equation. Here is the updated equation, that is 20 equal to 10 into 2 plus 0. And in the second step we need to check for the value of r. Here r value is 0. So when you got r value is 0, immediately end the process and the HCF value is the b value. That is what is in the place of b, that is the answer. So here HCF is 10. Now the HCF of 50 and 70 is 10. You need to consider the HCF of the values which have given in question. That is the actual question is 50 and 70. So the HCF of 50 and 70 is 10, not the HCF of 20 and 10. So remember the HCF of the question, what in the question given, that is 50 and 70 is 10. Now by following the same procedure, let us solve another example, that is 300 and 550. They are given two given integers, that is 350. We need to find the HCF using Euclid's algorithm. Now let us assume a as 550 and b as 300, because among 300 and 550, 550 is the greatest. So assume a value as 550 and b as 300. Now in the first step we need to apply division lemma. After applying the division lemma, the equation is 550 equal to 300 into q plus r. So In order to find the values of Q and R, you need to divide 550 and 300. When you divide 550 and 300 in the rough, you get Q as 1 and R as 250. That is, the quotient is 1 and the remainder is 250. So replace Q and R values in the equation. So when I replace the equation, the new equation is 500 equal to 300 into 1 plus 250. Now in the second step, we need to check for the value of R. Here R value is 250. It means that R value is not equal to 0. When R value is not equal to 0, you need to repeat the process for B and R. That is for 300 and 250. So repeat the process for 300 and 250. Now assume the new values of A and B as 300 and 250 and solve the problem as it is. Now among 300 and 250, 300 is the greatest. So assume A as 300 and B as 250. Now apply the division lemma again. Now after applying the division lemma, the equation is like this: 300 equal to 250 into Q plus R. So to get the values of Q and R, you need to divide 300 and 250. When I divide 300 and 250, I got Q value as 1 and R value as 50. So replace these Q and R values in the equation here. When I replace this, the new equation is 300 equal to 250 into 1 plus 50. Now in the second step, you need to check for the value of R. That is, R is 50. So it means that R is not equal to 0. So when R is not equal to 0, you need to repeat the process again for B and R values. That is for 250 and 50. So when I apply the process again for 250 and 50, the new A and B values are: A value is 250 and B value is 50, because among the both 250 is the greatest. So assign 250 to A. Now the new A and B values are 250 and 50. And you need to apply the division lemma in the first step. After applying the division lemma, the equation is like this. To get the values of Q and R, you need to divide 250 and 50. When I divide 250 and 50, I got 5 as quotient and 0 as remainder. So the Q value is 5 and the R value is 0. So replace the same values here. Now after replacing, I got the equation as 250 equal to 50 into 5 plus 0. Now in the second step, you need to check for the value of R. Now here the value of R is 0. So when you get the value of R is 0, immediately end the process, and the HCF value is the B value, whatever it is there in the place of B, that is 50. So HCF of 300 and 550 is 50. HCF of the question, what is the question? We need to find the HCF of 350 and the answer is 50.